The Ultimate Wolverine is making his debut this week amongst a whole host of tremendous comics that we are here to show off and preview today on, well, Pals Previews. We've got three of the pals here to talk about the books that we are going to be reviewing on Pals Pulls and give you guys insight into this week in comics. We're going to start with what Pals Pulls is looking like this Friday, a special start time, special start day, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about Ultimate Wolverine number one,
Had to.
Immortal Thor number 19, New Gods number two, Green Lantern, Fractured Spectrum, and G.I. Joe number three. What do you guys think about that list?
I mean, Ultimate Wolverine, that's the first Ultimates number one we've had since Ultimates.
Yeah,
So that's a big
it's
deal.
been
I
a while.
think I think, we talked about it this past Saturday show. This could be a bit of a litmus test to see what the future of the Ultimates universe could be. And I think that is important and it could be very interesting.
Yeah, we've had a variety of reviews on each of the books. We have different thresholds for how we're enjoying them. So this will be one that, yeah, I'm not a nail in the coffin by any means, but definitely will help the momentum and excitement for the Ultimate lines. And I'm glad you included Fractured Spectrum. I'm always looking for a way to get into Green Lantern. There's some characters that or some universes that I feel dense to, and Green Lantern always is one.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I don't know if Fractured Spectrum is necessarily the place to start, but I do think it will be great. And hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it despite being a little bit behind with the proceedings in the immediate moment with that character. But it should be a lot of fun. I think for me, the book that I am looking forward to the most on this list, and the book I think is actually going to be my pick of the week, is Immortal Thor, number 19. We
Mm,
don't talk about this book a lot on the show. The reason why I included this issue is because I believe this is the one that's drawn by like a different artist every page. And I am really excited to see that play out. Gavin Guidry, our guy, is going to be a part of that. And Al Ewing, when he's got a concept he wants to hit on, he rarely misses. So I'm choosing that as my pick of the week.
And I'm excited for you on Palace Pulse to have to read that creative team in one breath.
in one breath
Let's see
on
if I
each
can do it.
page.
In the spirit of we didn't start the fire, right?
Oh, please do. The Fall Out Boy version. No,
Yeah,
that's a horrible version. Don't even listen to that song. It's real
I
bad.
didn't care for that version too much. But, oh yeah. So what do you guys think will be your pick of the week?
New Gods number two, baby. It just number one was nearly my pick of the week. I think was it Absolute Batman that might have beaten it out or something like that.
Potentially.
And Absolute Batman not on this week, so this might be the chance for New Gods to shine here. It's Ram V and oh geez, I'm forgetting now.
New Gods is Ram V and Evan Cagle.
Evan Kagel, yes. And this one has Mr. Miracle on the cover in a very almost tarot card esque, uh, uh,
Oh yeah.
almost like an Art Nouveau kind of style to it. I love Mr. Miracle. I love what Ram V is cooking. Let Ram cook. I'm excited for this.
I hmm, I wanted a little more from New Gods last time, so I think it might be G.I. Joe, my pick of the week. I
Oh.
have had a lot of fun with the first two issues, and I think Rom is a writer that needs time to grow or to push a story. But G.I. Joe out the gate was action packed, fun. So I think that's going to be um, the pick of the week for me.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It's an interesting choice. Tune in Friday to see if we are accurate on our choices for pick of the week. Now, what we're going to do next is we're actually going to run down a whole host of comics that you can expect to see on shelves this Wednesday, provided your store is not screwed by Diamond. These are the books that you will be able to pick up, and we will give you a little bit of context for those that we know about, and just kind of run through some books we're looking forward to. So let's start, and we're on leagueofcomicgeeks.com, by the way, for this. Let's kick things off with the most pulled, i.e., the book that people are most excited for on this website, Nightwing, number 122. Now, I don't know if you guys are reading Nightwing, but I am, and I definitely understand why it is being pulled so heavily. I love this book.
This is Dan Waters and
Dexter
Ryan
Soy.
Dexter Soy. Dexter Soy. Yeah,
Ah,
I read the first issue. I thought it was a return to form for Nightwing before Tom Taylor. um, so maybe it is, back to basics for some people. I was lukewarm on it, but hey, it's outperforming World's Finest, at least in the polls on this website. So interesting.
yeah,
It's on my list.
I've heard a lot of good buzz for it, but I fell off after Redondo, after
Taylor.
Taylor. So like, yeah, it hopefully there's an entry point.
The entry, yeah, the entry point was just like 2 issues ago.
Yep, there it is.
So the thing on this list of League of Comic Geeks that jumped out to me immediately was the Amazing Spider-Man number 65 point deaths. What kind of numbering is this? What are we doing here? That's
The
not
point,
even a number.
it 5 letters, point five.
Yeah, that. Marco's definitely right. That's definitely what it is. It's a
Oh,
point five. I hate point fives. This one has a completely different creative team than traditional Spider-Man as well. So,
Oh my god.
um, I'm barely holding on with the main storyline. I am not buying a dot death. Sorry.
no. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And like, no offense to the cover, but like that's the most like bare bones cover.
Bare bones.
I
Yeah.
don't want to shit on it. I'll probably read it anyway because I read every Spider-Man issue, so I'm I guess a cuck to this, but it's fine. World's
And
Finest has Aquaman in it, but
Yeah, they're
that's it.
going underwater.
Boom, done, sold.
Yep.
easy.
Adrian Gutierrez is the new series artist on that. He's been doing well. The art's been great on World's Finest. So if you've been a World's Finest diehard, this book is still worth your time. Action Comics getting a new creative team. John
Ooh.
Ridley, Inaki Miranda, CC Dela Cruz, and Dave Sharp. We just came out of the weekly era, the Mark Wade weekly era. That's over with. We are back in the Superman Superstars period with John Ridley taking over. I am definitely curious to see what John will do, even if I haven't been lit on fire by the most recent Ridley stuff I've read.
Yeah. I think this is a good shakeup. We'll see how the new team comes on and does. The thing that caught my eye was his cover. I love when you get a nice text bubble, a text balloon on somebody saying something. Exceptional X-Men this week has something similar. So I'm a big sucker for that. I'm buying it off of that alone.
You heard it here, folks. Marco will buy your comic if your characters are saying something.
On the cover. On the cover.
Okay,
They
all
can't they
right,
can't be
got
there,
it,
can't
got
be
it.
silent.
Sean, I got a question. Miles
Yeah.
Morales, Spider-Man number 29 is on here. Are you still reading that?
Well, I mean, I'm still purchasing it.
Okay.
I am probably about 4 issues behind, though.
Did you get any of the buzz about the most previous issue that happened about Miles' place in the Spider Mythos?
No, no, I don't know anything. I haven't been spoiled. Go for it.
It's a spoiler, but I thought it was very interesting. So this is Cody Ziegler writing it, and essentially Spider-Man, you know the idea of spider totems and all that. Spider-Man is actually a spider totem for the Wakandan god Anansi, which is the spider god.
Hmm.
So he's tied into like Bast and all of that, which I guess brings in the idea of like these African gods, and that made more sense to me than spider totems, honestly. Like I think the whole spider totem thing, I haven't read JMS's run. That's I think where it originates from. So I don't know too much about that, but I thought that was a weird kind of tie-in to bring Miles into this world. I thought it was very interesting.
That I wish I didn't know that. I don't. That has go away heat for me. I already didn't like the spider totem thing, and I wish it was something they would move away from rather than like play with on any level, especially then tying him into Black Panther. That's a lot. I miss the days when he was just a random dude who got bit by a radioactive spider. Um, let's talk a little bit about well. Let's talk about Titans. I want to bring this book up because even though I'm not reading it, I wanted to say like this is one of the letdowns of the All In era for me. I was really looking forward to this because I was not trying to read the prior era of Titans, and I wanted to see what John Layman would do, and I have not loved what he's put down so far. So this is actually one of the only All In books I have actually dropped.
Mm.
Same for me, actually. Yeah, I dropped it as well. It felt of a time that is not 2025.
Right. Yeah. I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin Year One. That's dropping this week, number 4. We don't need to say a lot about it. We know we love it. It's been a great book. It's not on our docket right now, but it is a great comic. You should check it out.
Yeah,
Are any
it's
of you
been
guys
read.
keeping up with Incredible Hulk? Because that shit good.
About 4 issues behind as well, but
Sure.
I agree with you. It is great. Underrated, I
Hulk's in,
think.
Hulk's in Vegas right now, dealing with some like body, what are they called? Not tulpas, skinwalkers, and all that stuff, and
Whoa.
the mother of all monsters and all that. It's fun
Oh,
stuff.
These covers are sick all the time.
oh shit, dude! Danny Earls on the
Danny Earls has been doing this
interiors.
arc. Yeah, Danny Earls is killing it on Hulk.
Wow.
Yeah, highly
Okay.
recommend.
Okay. That takes us into exceptional X-Men territory, Marco.
This has been fun. I've been enjoying this book. The Iceman showed up an issue or two ago, and then now we're just getting this friction, and we're getting a bit of drama, and so it's been fun to see the characters interact. Bronze is kind of coming into her own,
Mm.
which has been nice, and was in the timeless, as like a future flash forward type thing. So she's getting a push seemingly, and on the cover, Kitty's out. I quit.
Oh,
Over
sorry.
it.
Don't say the kitty's out. Not that kind of show.
That's not Kitty.
Oh my God.
That's
That's
I forgot her name, but she's one of the new recruits
it's the
that's
one that could
leaving.
also
This
walk
is
through
a
stuff, right?
sorry?
That's the one that could also walk through things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is a an homage to Kitty doing this very same thing in an earlier issue of X-Men. This is your honorable mention, no?
This is. I've been enjoying the series so far. It just continues to be a fun book. It's interpersonal, and Kitty's one of my favorites. So having her on a team and lead the team, I think become the steward for the for a future generation is has been really nice. So yeah, definite shout out. Definitely go pick it up you uh, if you're not enjoying some of the other X-Men books on the stands. I think this is an outlier in that it is uh, both enjoyable and doing some good character work.
Tyler, you keeping up with Storm? Have you stayed on it?
I have the issues. Again, I read alphabetically, so it gets compacted when Storm's near the bottom of that list. I've read a couple issues past where we stopped reading it for Palace. I think we only read the first issue.
Mm.
And it's interesting. It's the same issue I've been having with a lot of X Men books. It's like, all right, it's hard for me to separate what I can tell Marvel's doing with X Men heroes from the content of the books. It's kind of in the same Phoenix camp where like I think this book is good, but it doesn't feel like an X Men book. Does
Right.
that make sense? So it's a weird one for me. I still think it's good if you like Storm. Great. She's got buffed in Marvel Rivals too, so she's on a hot streak. So check this book. And the covers on Storm have been freaking insanely good. This
Sure.
one dealing with 2025 Boy of the Year, Doctor Doom. I think these covers are by Mateus Manhanini. So good looking book.
You're referring to the Doctor Doom one where he's holding Sue Storm?
Uh,
Yeah, it looks cool.
is he holding Sue Storm in this?
It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's standing over the Fantastic Four.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Storm. This is just a Storm 4 number cover.
Oh, the main
The main
cover.
cover.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
My mistake.
No, if I
My
was talking about
mistake.
variants, I would have brought up the cowboy Storm variant.
That David
Yo.
Nakayama. Hell yeah, love that. Um, I decided that as much as I enjoyed Laura Kinney Wolverine #1, I'm gonna drop it, I think.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so much books out right now,
So many books out, and bringing in Elektra Daredevil to the mix doesn't excite me, so it just feels like just stuff to do.
and I'm reading NYX and I'm enjoying NYX and Laura's in that, so I got my fill.
Your fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Did either of you keep up with the question all along the Watchtower? Number three's dropping.
Good question, Sean.
I did
What's the
Uh,
not.
answer?
it is on my list. I have not kept up with it. I've meant to, but I have not done it.
It's so far down. So,
It's probably a T. I don't think my
oh, oof,
yeah. I don't know if it goes by T or Q at this point.
one
But
of those.
Nice House by the Sea is a book that I made the conscious decision not to read. I'm buying it. I am not reading it until it is way further along. I forget what happens, and I'm lost every time. So
I think I'm pulling a Cale on this one. I'm gonna wait for it to come out and just read it in a shot because I was enjoying it, but it's probably easier to read in one
It,
big gulp.
I mean, that was the criticism we lobbed at it. Was it collected and read back to back? It was so easy. It's seamless, and so yeah. Similarly, I want to wait to honestly. I was thinking about waiting for this one on the DC app.
that's reasonable. That's reasonable. I always want to shout it out. It's not necessarily my honorable mention, but The Moon is Following Us. Number five is coming out. This has been so good, guys. If you haven't been picking this up, and you're looking for more DWJ goodness, why would you not? I mean, he's writing it, but he's teaming up with Riley Rosmo, and he does do some interior pages as well. So it's a tremendous creative team. Great book, great hook. Buy that book. Rogue, The Savage Land, number one. So this book is winning our poll by pretty much a landslide. Look at the cover and you'll know why. Um, I was not gonna buy this. I don't want to buy it because
What?
it feels like a Gooner book, but I will buy it if it wins the poll. I'll have no choice.
I mean, it's winning some poll, that's for sure.
Oh, what are the covers looking like? I mean, look at the covers. They're delivering some fucking covers for this comic book, man.
I don't even
Wow.
know if I can show them on YouTube, to be honest.
Some of these you can't.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about showing the A cover on YouTube.
The A cover is Car Andrews.
Yeah, and it looks great. So I'm gonna buy it. I'll be there. I'll be seated.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to this. The cover makes it seem like
Bet
a
you are.
classic type story, and then I love being in the Savage Lands. Let's go.
This is those stories that Marvel's doing that's like pre-continuity. It's like it's in continuity, but it's past continuity.
Side
Yeah,
continuity
the side
type shit.
continuity stuff. It is a Gooner book. Let's be real. And I always thought Rogue and Magneto was always a little weird, bit of a weird combo. But
Yeah, I was never a big fan of that one myself. What I am a big fan of, and what I am speaking for as my honorable mention, is Challengers of the Unknown. I was fully blown away by the first issue. It was excellent. Christopher Cantwell, Sean Isaacs. I really, really love what they put down here. A lot of people will skip this book because these characters are unknown. And one of the things that Cantwell decided to do to combat that was make it so that they're always teaming up with a more popular member of the Justice League. That's fine. That's smart. I got no issue with it. It was used well in the first issue. I'm excited to learn more about these new people, though. They're not new to comics, new to me. I'm excited to learn more about them. That is the greatest compliment I can pay Christopher Cantwell. The fact that I want to know more about these people when they're standing shoulder to shoulder with the Justice League shows you how good of a job he did at making them interesting. I can't wait to read this.
Um, Jumping a little, down, Sean. I don't know if you have something before this, but Alien Paradiso.
I wanted to make one quick shout out before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have an honorable mention, but I will be checking out Challenge of the Unknown. It's only issue 2. I've been waiting for it, so that I'm excited for. But I want to shout out the final issue of Avengers Assemble, number 5. This is written by Steve Orlando. Artist of this one is Jose Luis Suarez Pinto. Inks by Oren Jr. and colors by Sonia Obak. This is kind of a side Avengers book. It's everyone who's not an Avenger on Jed McKay's thing. So Jed McKay's is like heavy hitters. It's Thor. It's Sam Wilson, Captain America, Iron Man. This one's everyone else, but it's led by Steve Rogers. So they're back at the mansion, just doing like really traditional Avengers stuff. One of the issues was about the Mad Ghost, the Fantastic Four villain that has a whole bunch of primate army, and there were like ghost orangutans and stuff. It's very like turn your brain off, classic Avengers stuff. And the whole, and in the background, there's been the Serpent Society kind of scheming. So issue 5 is kind of the culmination of that Serpent Society story. And it's the cover says, "Beware, Cap Snake. You like Cap Wolf? What about Cap Snake?" So
Ugh.
Cap turns into a snake. But there's like weird Avengers on this team. There's new Avengers. There's Julie Power from the Power Pack is an Avenger here. Night Thrasher is an Avenger who gives everyone matching jackets. It's so dumb, but it works for Night Thrasher. She Hulk's in it. Hercules is in it. Kate Bishop is in it. Shamik Moore probably somewhere in the background.
Oh,
Um, but it's kind of just like dumb turn your brain off Avengers stuff. It's not reinventing the wheel, but I thought it was a good solid 5 issues.
sick. I also wanted to mention Minor Arcana. It's not a book I'm reading, but I know a lot of people are into it. It's Jeff Lemire. So if you're curious what he's been up to going into Absolute Flash's debut, Minor Arcana is a solid book. I read the first issue and I really enjoyed it.
What?
Marco, where were you gonna go?
Sorry, just sticking on Minor Arcana. Actually, a shout out as well to on that book, Sean Kurineru, who does some of the flashback art pieces in between what Lemire has there. So real good work, really good, really cool artist. Yeah, just a quick shout out for anybody who's not aware of that artist. And I wanted to talk about Alien Paradiso. Um, Many people might know I'm a huge fan of the Alien properties and as well as some of the Predator properties. And so anytime that they come out with a new book, I always jump on it. I read the first issue of Paradiso, and I had a conversation with a few people in the chat in the Discord because it was violent, uh, utterly gross. And Paradiso takes place a uh, on a planet that is a resort for the rich and powerful, and so they're just people on vacation, and suddenly alien. So
I'm on the Xenomorph team here.
yeah, get rid of them.
Bunch of Luigi aliens.
But the first issue was fun, and it brought me back in, so I'm excited to read the second one.
The last book I wanted to make mention of is FML #3. Now, this is a book that I judged fairly harshly. I didn't like the first issue and I was down on it, and I got some pushback for that. So I feel like maybe I missed the boat, but I want to hear more than talk. I want to listen. Should I jump back on the boat? Are we missing something with FML? Should we be reading that? Sound off in the comments if you are activated with that book and let us know your thoughts. We gave you our honorable mentions. We ran down the books that are coming out this week. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to shout out?
No, that's about it for me.
Yeah.
Cool. The only thing left to do is the spotlight for today.
Uh, about the poll, are we going to say what the poll options are
Oh my
as well?
goodness, yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. We do want to let you guys know to go vote in the poll. It is up right now, and the poll includes Rogue Savage Land #1, Challengers of the Unknown #2, Nightwing #122, and Laura Kinney Wolverine #2. So you heard us talk about each one of those books. You can vote on them. Let us know what you want us to read this Friday on Pals Pulls.
Something tells me the Gooners might win this one, but let's see what happens.
There's a chance for Nightwing, but I don't know,
Is
dude.
is there?
I don't know.
I would argue also a Gooner book.
In a different way, yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's time for the spotlight. Take it away, whoever was supposed to do it today.
I was gonna talk about the Inio Asano and Poon Poon. So it's a
Whoa.
manga that I've yes, Poon Poon. Uh,
Is
Good
this
night,
like
Poon.
patois? What do we?
um, and this is a book that I've been reading in the background for quite a while. Goodnight Poon Poon is about a kid, and it follows his life from about 10, 11 years old to being an early adult, about 21, and just the things that go on in his life. But he's this neurotic kid. He overthinks things. He um, takes things to heart. He doesn't commit. He doesn't commit to certain things, and then he feels bad about it. And then he also externalizes things. His life situation early on uh, a potentially crazed mother, a distant father. There's just a lot of elements that are go on in Poon Poon's life, and it's meant to be a coming of age story. And like, how does he differentiate himself? How does he grow into the adult that he wants to be? Who does he want to be? Who is he? There are questions of his identity. There are questions about the trajectory of his life, and the book goes to a lot of dark places. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of sex. There's a lot of um, weight and worry. And there's a lot of times where I have to put the book down because it gets intense. The subject matter. And uh, I was having a conversation with my brother yesterday about this because he's the one who had it originally and gave it to and lent it to me. And I loved the book for everything that it was able to pull out of me. I cried. I was worried for the character. I hated the character. I felt a lot of emotions, and I think a book is very successful when it's able to draw something from you, something human. Um, and but I was mixed on the ending. I don't think it landed in a way that was satisfactory. So for anybody who's out there who has read Goodnight Poon Poon, again by Inio Asano, please uh, come talk to me. I want to discuss this book. Only a few people have read it on the Discord. We've had some good conversations, but I'm now that it's done for me, I want to hear other people's thoughts because the end for what his life is wraps up cleanly, and that's all that I'll say. And I don't know how I feel about that. I've been going back and forth on it. So, highly recommend this book. Not for kids. And I think you have to be ready and open to some heavy subject matter.
I mean, it's got Poon Poon in it. I hope it's not for kids.
Does have Poon Poon in it.
All right. Thank you, Marco, for the spotlight. Thank you, viewer, for listening. Let us know what you think about the slight change in format. What are you thinking about this show so far? And what are you most looking forward to this week in comics? Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one. Until then, take care, guys.
See you next time.